Okay, we're back at it, and I'm going to add a little bit more debris back in here and maybe highlight a few pieces of it to get it a little warmer. Yeah, I just want to get a few more pieces going on in here. So you have to, I actually should make it a little darker to start with and warm it up as I come. Practice what you preach, Sharon, for crying out loud. I'm going to make it a little darker back in here, and then I'll warm those up as they come forward. There would be a lot of dead, because you got a lot of dead stuff going on here, there's going to be a lot of dead stuff laying back here. You need a I'm using a synthetic brush. Paint's kind of thin. That's good. And I'm being pretty careful on my pressure. Pressure's always the deal, folks. Pressure, pressure, pressure. So you want a thin log back here. You got to have light pressure. I use my baby finger to hold my brush up against there. There we go. So here's another one coming down this way. I might get out a different brush. I might get out something give me a little sharper, smaller edge here. Where are you, brush? There you go. Can't always find what you want sometimes, you know. Okay, I'm going to come back in here with, where was I? I was working right here. Okay, I just want them to, okay, now I can bring it forward, add a little highlight to it so it's not a dead color. There. I started off with some burnt umber and some burnt sienna and some yellow and a little bit of white. And then I added more yellow and a little more white. And if you could see my palette right now, you'd see all the colors kind of lined up right next to each other so I can see where I'm working. Add a little more white to this piece over here and a little bit more yellow. I want it brighter. I don't want that white to come off as chalky. So it needs to have some white or some yellow added to it. And you're not trying to make a solid line here. You're trying to put a little highlight on that log. So the pressure has to be good, but you also back away from it. You don't make a solid line. Let's see if I can get the idea across here. Can you see what I'm doing here? There. It takes practice, so don't get frustrated if you don't get it the first time. I've only been doing it for 17 years. And some days things don't go well. Now over here on this side of the painting and on this side of the painting, I don't want it too bright. I want your eye to come in here and then kind of wander out and see. See what happens if you're just very careful, very light pressure there. Kind of skip across there. There. We're starting to get something that I'm happy with. It takes a while though, okay? It really just does. And back up. Look at it from a distance. A painting is meant to be seen 6 feet away. So back up. Okay, so now if you're not happy with some of these, like this one right in here, okay, now remember the light's coming from this direction. So I need to put my highlight over here. I'm not happy with that trunk at all. The whole thing. So, what are you going to do about that, Sharon? I'm going to come back in here and I'm going to start over. Get him dark again. I like that a lot better. And now I'm going to add some of the lighter color. There. Like that much better. Okay. This tree needs a little bit of a trunk showing. Doesn't need much, just needs a little. Just a little. If you'll tell your eye something, it'll figure out the details and add them in there for you. Okay? All right, well, let's everybody get on your creative juices today. Get your creative hat on and let's get busy.